Hello everyone, it's Turin here, and today guys I'm here with another Total War Warhammer live battlecast. In this game I'm going to play the Warriors of Chaos, and I'm going to be facing off against Bretonnia. Definitely a tricky matchup, but definitely a very fun one as well. So we're going to get a Death Sorcerer, get Spirit Leech, and Fate of Buna. That should be a pretty solid combination in my opinion, very good at dealing with Elite Knights and all that kind of funny business. So we're going to get some Forsaken, we're also going to get some Aspiring Champions. I probably want to get 3 groups of Forsaken actually, but I still do think armor piercing in the front line is pretty essential because Foot Squires are a pretty optimal choice, and they actually do beat Forsaken head to head. So having some true armor piercing is a very good choice in my opinion. On top of that, let's see what else we want to get. We have about 42 seconds. A Shaggoth is okay, but Royal Pegasus Knights just do so much work against those guys. It's very tricky. So let's get them. And let's also get one group of just standard kind of prolonged fighting Chaos Knights. I don't know how good of a choice that'll be. Honestly, I'm kind of on the fence about it, but Dragon Ogres could be good. A Shaggoth could be pretty good. Granted, it is a large unit and really can get focused down. So let's actually try some of these Dragon Ogres here because they do have anti-large. So, we'll hope for the best there. So we're going to get some of these guys and another group as well. Hounds are very useful here. There are a lot of squishy, peasant bowmen and all that kind of good stuff. So, generally speaking, they do a pretty good job for you. So, okay, so Dragon Ogres, but part of me just wants to get those Chaos Knights just because their combat stats are so damn good. But the Dragon Ogres with anti-large isn't bad. Although personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Dragon Ogres. It's just I'm on the fence, guys. So we'll just take this as a bit of an experimental game and have some fun and hope for the best. But I think my front line should do the job. Having a few Forsaken on the flanks, there are some matchups like against Wood Elves, I use Forsaken in the front line, but against Bretonnia, I like to use them in the flanks. Because if you have to, if you're compromised in your flank, you can pull them back to help deal with cav and things like that because they're so darn fast with 48 move speed. So their little warped legs can run pretty quickly here. So. All right, this map is an interesting one. What is he playing against? So, man, I'm just totally blanking. So he's playing Bretonnia. So, I mean, deploying on the high ground isn't going to yield him a huge advantage. So, although, yeah, it looks like this is actually the map where you're more centered here. So I probably should just deploy here. So Chaos Warriors right here. Let's go ahead and spread those guys out. The reason you get Sigvald in this matchup, and I honestly think he's one of the more competitive picks here, is because, number one, Kolek just gets annihilated by Focus Fire from Bretonnia. Whether that be just, a bunch of Pegasus Knights jumping on him, it's just not fun at all. So Sigvald is very tough to snipe. He's very resilient and durable, and I think he's honestly probably the best choice against Bretonnia because he's not easy to snipe. And yeah, so we're going to give it a try there. We'll put one Forsaken here. So you notice we put them out in the wings because they're very quick. Definitely helps take advantage of their mobility and all that. So we'll put one group of Hounds over here kind of hiding, and we'll put one group over here just to kind of use them for scouting and for kind of flanking our opponent. So we'll get these guys set up like so. We'll get the Dragon Ogres and the Goon Squads back here, and let's have some fun. So we're going to push up the hill here. We're going to get group 3 and have them kind of run up and over here, and these guys can run up and around there. It's a bit of a long way, but Hounds are very quick. So of course Royal Pegasus Knights. So I'm really glad I didn't bring Kolek because that is just pure destruction for my Dragon Ogres are probably going to get one-shotted. So Chaos Knights might have been a better pick, to be honest. But you know what? I got to try new things every now and then. And yeah, that was a mistake. I should have gotten the Chaos Knights, but it's all good. So I think we should be able to win the infantry battle, though he does have Men-at-Arms with Polearms. So the Forsaken will shine here. He didn't bring Foot Squires, so my main core line isn't going to be that exceptional against him, but we do have a ton of Hound pressure. So hopefully the Hounds, we can actually hide them down here. That would be really good if he doesn't see those guys coming. So Fate of Buna, we're going to be using that on the Pegasus Knights for sure, because nothing in his infantry core is really worth using that on. We're going to keep the Dragon Ogres back initially and use them a little bit aggressively once the arrow fire has kind of been dictated. So he's going after these guys here, and let's actually bring the Hounds up and have them, actually let's wait a second. Oh, they're so sneaky down here. Look at this. So good. So let's get these guys ready to party. We'll go ahead and engage here. We'll engage here. And yeah, it's not the best engagement here, guys, but you know what? We're going to make it work. So Forsaken, we can go ahead and slam them into these troops on the flank. I have no problem with that. And these guys can kind of run up and around here. And these Forsaken can go right up the pipe. So excellent. So let's pull the Dragon Ogres. Let's get these Hounds kind of coming in hot here on the Peasants. And this other group of Hounds, we need to make sure to engage on the Peasants as well. So the Dragon Ogres are online. Let's go ahead and get a Fate of Buna starting to cast here on these guys. And what does he have over here on the flank? So these, they're Knight Errant, so they're not really worth, dealing with. We can honestly just send some Forsaken to help deal with those guys. And let's pull some great weapons. And let's get the Dragon Ogres. Although, where's he going to go with those guys? He's probably going to, let's pull these guys back, have them help out. Let's pull the Forsaken back because he's going to try and snipe those guys out. Let's make sure Sigvald's up here, and our Deathcaster, we want him in the front line as well so he doesn't get sniped out. So we do get that Fate of Buna, but I just realized that my caster is really out of position here. So if he does turn to this, fight us, that's going to be a little bit scary. So we do have our Hounds coming to compromise his back line, so I'm pretty happy about that. But let's pull him over here. Let's get these Aspiring Champions up in the front line as well. And yeah, we should be able to do pretty well for ourselves here. So he's actually just going to run, which is fine. But we are going to get peasants, or the dogs in the back line, which is going to be really, really strong, guys. So all right, so let's just push up here, be really, really patient, just keep doing our thing, and good. So the hounds are up in his missile line, which is going to be really strong. So, oh, these hounds, we almost ran into those spears, but we just were able to matrix them at the last second. So let's just kind of follow and see where he goes. But it looks like he's going over there, so let's go ahead and advance on those guys. And good, so the Forsaken are in the front line. We've kind of compromised his back line a little bit. We do have some death ability, so let's make sure to kind of stay on top of that. But honestly, I think saving for the Fate of Yuna is going to be really good. So, all right, so he has engaged over here, so let's pull the Death Sorcerer and some of our Forsaken. We can also detach some of these Aspiring Champions in the back, but you see that focus fire from that anti-large? It's so strong, guys. But we're going to kind of just keep pushing it here and hoping our Chaos Warriors can really just do some good work in the front line. But yeah, that's pretty devastating for sure, like that damage he's doing there. But honestly, I don't know how his like main line's really going to hold up here. It seems to be going pretty well for us. So as far as Spirit Leeching goes, we should probably just, start Spirit Leeching his, oh no, did we get his Lord there? I hope we did. So, okay, so let's push in here, just keep these guys high and tight. We do have Sigvald, and, the back line for him is very, very heavily compromised. Like, we got dogs in there. We got all kinds of crazy business going on. So let's see if we can catch any of these Pegasus Knights. Doesn't look like we're able to, but he does annihilate our Dragon Ogre, so that's the exact reason you don't bring Kolek. Like, it's just a punishing. So we're just going to kind of keep Fate of Buning this guy. I mean, he's going to try and clip our wings. So what we probably want to do is just keep like a fairly high and tight formation right now. We do have some hounds back, which is always a good sign here. Let's keep these guys pushing as well. And do we have any other hounds? I think they mostly have been like routed or killed off here. But yeah, his infantry corps is pretty much done for. So keeping our caster alive is going to be really, really important here. But that Fate of Buna doing a really, really good job, guys. Just solid stuff. So let's push in here, just kind of keep pressuring our opponent and, from a multitude of different angles, but we really want to get the Forsaken back there. So let's have these guys push here, have these guys push here, and yeah, he's back up in there, unfortunately. So he does have a standard Bretonnian Lord, so going very, very wide here. Definitely a good battle so far. It's been a fun one. So let's get these guys here. We do have some hounds in the back, so let's make sure to get those guys re-engaged here. We do get the 3 Dragon Ogres back, so hey guys, it can make a difference here. So our Chaos Warriors are pushing up. He probably knows that the Pegasi aren't really going to have a good time versus any of the Chaos Warriors here. So let's just keep pressuring these missiles, these hounds. You see he's going for all my mobile units, so we need to just kind of scurry the way to the best of our abilities. And yeah, man, unfortunately both these hounds actually ran to like the far side of the map, which is unfortunate. I wish they had ran the other way. Definitely making it a little bit harder for us. So let's use that Arcane Conduit. Let's get these guys chasing here. Just kind of keep hunting down all of his... Oh, and we actually caught some of his Knight Errants there, which is pretty good. So what is he going after? Some Aspiring Champions? That's fine. Aspiring Champions are very, very sturdy, so they should be able to do pretty well for themselves. All right, so just kind of up and over right now. We need to make sure Prince Sigvald doesn't get isolated. That would definitely suck pretty bad if we were, got caught out there. So I guess we just chase off his missiles, or do we, I mean, we can't keep up with those Pegasus Knights, so I think that's a little bit of a lost cause. Although we're gonna have another Fate of Buna here in just a moment. What does it cost? 16? Ooh, that's so much. That's incredibly expensive. Do we have any Forsaken left? So we have one group chasing down these peasants here, which is going to get us a ton of kills. And this other one's over here with some Chaos Warriors, which is actually honestly fine. So we'll send these hounds and these other guys to kind of clean up shop and just mop up some of these halberds over here on the far side. Let's kind of consolidate our forces a little bit, because yeah, he's just going to kite us about right now. So he might go after my caster right here, which would be a pretty good idea. But we're going to use another Fate of Buna here to really just do a ton of damage, and that's why you have to bring death, guys. It's like Chaos doesn't have a ton of answers versus like the Air Force, but this is one of the best ones. So we do some good damage here, and unfortunately he is going to catch some of my Forsaken over here who are somewhat isolated. What are these guys? Aspiring Champion? No, these are all the Forsaken. So hopefully they can just mosh pit these archers before he's able to get there and help his other one. So all right, so let's keep pushing. Balance of power is in our favor, so I think we should be able to pull this one out regardless of the situation here. And look, oh, he even has some Knight Errants over here, but the Dragon Ogres and the Hounds will honestly probably be able to kill those guys. So yeah, he's trying to rescue his routing units right now. Let's keep these Aspiring Champions fighting there, which should be fine. We'll just keep the rest of our Goon Squad kind of pushing down here, and we might have enough for like one more Spirit Leech over the course of this battle. So yeah, let's just kind of, just chase. We don't really have a choice here. We just got to kind of keep moving after our opponent, and hopefully we can rout off a lot of these Peasant Bowmen. That'll take away a lot of his mobility and different options there. And on the far side, we're actually kind of getting overwhelmed a little bit. So the Dragon Ogre getting caught. But it is what it is. He may just stalemate us and just run around the map. That I wouldn't be surprised. That does happen quite a bit on ladder. Usually I don't cast games like that do have that happen, but sometimes it does. So let's have these guys kind of just run around and get ready to munch on some of these peasants over here. If they can actually get on those peasant bowmen, that would be quite nice. But hey, what are you guys doing? You guys need to finish that fight there and make sure to put those guys down. So we do get a little bit of an engagement here. Oh, do we actually get a charge on his lord? Are we gonna be able to stop him from flying? I don't think so. I don't think so, but we're gonna try. And just look at the damage the Fate of Buna's done to a lot of those guys. And I think if we just keep pushing all of his units off the battlefield, he's gonna have army losses here, which is exactly what we want. So let's have these guys charge over here. And if he decides to engage these Chaos Warriors, he's gonna take losses. These guys don't have heavy AP, so I'm not terribly concerned. And I don't think they're even the royal ones. They're just regular Pegasus Knights. So he definitely went wider, but yeah, he's going to take some losses here for sure. So, all right, so let's get these guys going here. The Death Sorcerer, make sure to use the Arcane Conduit. Just kind of keep our Chaos Blob just pushing and annihilating everything in its wake in the true Chaos fashion. We do have some more guys coming over here. The Aspiring Champions were able to clean up shop, so let's just have them keep meat grinding and doing their thing. Let's see what our Winds of Magic is. 1 per 18 right now, but that is while the Conduit is ticking, so not the most efficient. But yeah, the Pegasus Knights taking some damage here, which is good. 89 kills in these Chaos Warriors, so let's try and get over here with my caster. I mean, he's not really going to serve any other purposes right now. We do have some Forsaken, actually, so we have another group right here. Let's have him go after these peasants, and let's have these, yeah. Okay, so everything's going to code. Sigvald's in perfect health. I mean, even worst case scenario, it's going to take him a while to deal with Sigvald. Sigvald is just a beast. So only 6 over here. I don't know if they'll be able to kill all these halberds and men-at-arms, but we're going to try our darndest here. And he did intercept us with some guys, so pretty good stuff. But you can see the Pegasus Knights, like, those Chaos Warriors are not taking anybody's shit. They're doing some good work over there. So let's get them collapsing. And if we can collapse these Pegasus Knights, I honestly think my opponent, the rest of his army, is going to just, like, crumble from here. So let's get these Forsaken over here as well to finish off these Peasant Archers. Let's kind of keep chasing, doing our thing here. It's going to be hard, though. He's just going to probably try and reform ranks and maybe kite. So I don't know. We'll see. He could still win, though. The bounce of power is in my favor, but with just pure attrition and cycle charging, he might be able to pull something out. It's going to be hard to tell, but let's just go ahead and finish off these peasants so we don't get annoyed by missile fire. And, everything he wants to isolate, though, at this point is pretty strong. We will have another Spirit Leech soon, and just look at how beat up these Pegasus Knights are. There's nothing in good shape here, so definitely want to rout those guys off. That's very, very important here. So let's see what he's got. So he's got some Peasant Bowmen over there in the forest. I don't have any mobility, but man, those Dragon Ogres were such a bad choice. I remember one game I brought, like, Kolek on stream, and I was like, oh, Kolek's going to smash these Foot Squires, and then, like, he had like 3 Royal Pegasus Knights, and he just like put me in a trash can so incredibly hard. So is he going to try and save these guys? I don't know if there's any way he can, but let's get this caster up here to help out. It is a heroic unit and can fight pretty well, so just look at the Goon Squad reforming over there in the hills. I don't have any Hounds or mobile units anymore, but yeah, those guys should get chased off here. So all right, so it doesn't look like, oh, is he actually going to land here? Oh, interesting. So that's some potential free damage here. So let's get my mobile unit back there to try and catch him out. And yeah, so far so good. I think most of our forces have reformed ranks. So if we can damage his Lord here, he might suffer a mass rout. So do we have any Winds of Magic? How much does Spirit Leech cost again? I think it's like 7 or 8. Yeah, it's 8. So all right, so we get some good damage on the Lord, but he's able to pull out. That's what she said. And, he did isolate some of our troops here, but it's no big deal. Those are just, 6 or 7 Forsaken. So, okay. So at this point, what we're going to do is just degroup everything so they path a little bit smoother. We're going to kind of keep in a tight formation, just march back up the hill, remain calm and composed, and save up Winds of Magic for a Spirit Leech, which will be very, very good here. So we're going to use Arcane Conduit. It's 1 per 18. So I think in total, how long does that last? So that lasts, doesn't actually have a number there. Yeah, well, let's see. No, it doesn't show me. So we're going to have to wait for that. That's going to be very important here. So I would offer my opponent a fast forward, but I don't know if he'd take it, because it does make microing a little bit trickier. But honestly, I don't know how he can get through this core. Like, his army is so tattered, and I basically have full groups and a full health Lord. So, all right, we're up to 7. So hopefully I can get one more, and boom, we get our Spirit Leech. So do I use it on his Lord right now? I mean, I guess there's not really better targets, right? So we'll go ahead and pop it on him just to make sure we get it off. And Prince Sigvald can kind of run over as well. Come over there, and that's a nice Spirit Leech. And I think he already used his potion. I'm not sure. So we get that off. His leadership must be, yeah, about 62, so it's not in bad shape. All right, so let's go ahead and just kind of path everyone up the hill, do a little bit of a last stand here, get the charge up the hill. We'll see how he does. He did use that Potion of Toughness just now, so I'm not sure what he's going to go after. I mean, anything he goes after, like I mentioned before, he's going to take damage from. So we'll try and keep our Horse Caster going and just hunting him down wherever we can. These guys, we can go here, and my caster can go ahead and go here. So he's actually engaging here, which is a pretty risky gambit. So we're going to get my caster and push into the back of those guys. And these Chaos Warriors are very resilient. There's, armor piercing on his Lord, but for the most part, we should be able to, do some good work here. So my caster's, laying a beating on his Lord. The Chaos Warriors are, steady despite all that. And hopefully they can kill some of these Pegasus Knights right here who do have the stand your ground. So they're going to be a little bit more durable than they usually, but they are losing in melee. They have taken some losses, and, we're pushing up the hill right here. So I think our aspiring champions that we need to just kind of mop these guys up. So let's just do a bit of a unified push. And honestly, those peasant bowmen are they're not going to have enough firepower to really shut us down there. So we do break those Pegasus. Let's continue pushing up the hill. He does have those Knight Errants too. Got to watch out for those guys. They did pretty well for him in this game, actually, believe it or not. So. But I think once we rout these guys, hopefully we can get army losses. And you notice how I'm like pathing everything after a single target. I just want to blob up so he can't like snipe out my wings. And he does have calves, so if he charges in, I want him to be charging into the brunt of my army. And Sigvald is going to rout these guys so quick, guys. And yeah, my opponent's probably going to do a last stand here. Not sure how he's going to do it with these Pegasus Knights, but he's probably going to come in on one of my flanks here regardless. So let's actually send these guys over here and have my caster go after these. Oh, yeah, he landed. Oh, the Prince. Hail to the Prince. So we're going to go ahead and pop stand your ground and get a nice little charge there, which is very, very good. And the Chaos Warriors will fare well against those Knight Errants. Granted, they don't have like a charge defense, nor were they braced regardless. But Sigvald and the Death Sorcerer here should be able to kind of mop up here. We'll use Arcane Conduit just as kind of a gimme there, but honestly, I don't think it's going to really do much. Our Winds of Magic is like 1 per 162 here. So we do shatter his Lord, and it looks like that is going to be all she wrote. So well played to our opponent. It's funny, like, man, it sometimes bums me out that Chaos is like one of the only factions I can play competitive. I don't know, I just played too many games, so I kind of forgot the meta with the other factions, but well played to my opponent. It was a fun game. very wide Bretonnian army. You do see that quite a bit. It's very reflective of that early Bretonnian meta. And it was hard to deal with. The 3 Pegasus Knights, I mean, they just shit on my Dragon Ogre, so that was pretty fun. But regardless, well played to my opponent, Revan Cheesemo. Look forward to seeing you again on ladder. I hope you guys enjoyed that Chaos game. And guys, more content coming soon.